Now, this is another Aryanized form of the goddess. Most of the deities in India, you'll notice that they have been Aryanized. They look like Europeans, but never mind that. Even when you go to Greece and you look at those deities, never mind that, because Europeans did not invent them. They were invented by Africans, even in Rome, because the first Romans, the first Greeks were Africans. And all of those deities are synonymous with the deities of Africa. So when you see a European so-called deity, remember they are just Africans. So the Great Mother is this, and some of the oldest versions of her story, her name is Mami Wata. Mami Wata is the Voodoo version of the goddess, because Voodoo is the oldest spiritual system on the planet. Now, Voodoo is not what most people think it is. It is just your cosmic connection to the universe, your cosmic connection to nature. And when you are cosmically connected to nature, you are cosmically connected to Neter. You see? And Neter is mother. You see? A lot of people say, well, Neter is male and Neteret is female. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. So, in this form of Kali, you see she has many heads. It says that Kali is portrayed mostly in two forms. The popular four-arm form and the 10-arm Maha Kali. Meaning, Maha means great. Okay? Because that's one of her names. She's the Great Mother. And the word Kali meaning black, so the great blackness. That's the mother. So, in both of her forms, she is described as being black in color, but is most often depicted as blue in popular Indian art. Her eyes are described as red with intoxication and in absolute rage. Her hair is shown disheveled, small fangs sometimes protrude out of her mouth, and her tongue is lolling. She is often shown naked or just wearing a skirt made of human arms and a gauntlet of human heads. She is also accompanied by serpents and a jackal while standing on a seemingly dead Shiva. Usually right foot to symbolize the more popular, what they call, you can't see that, that's a very hard Indian word to pronounce. I'll try the best. Da Sinamara. Right? Which means this is her positive form. This is her form where she is all loving and compassionate. When you see her left foot forward, this is the form in which she comes as a destroyer. She is not concerned with anything but destroying. Anything that is outside of the natural balance of Mother Nature is to be destroyed. You see, she don't care if you're black, white, or candy stripe. When she comes to destroy. And this is what is in popular Islamic and Christianity when they talk about the wrath of Allah, and they talk about the day of judgment and all of that. This is what they're talking about. They're talking about the earthquakes. They're talking about the earth cleansing itself, because we're living in a day and time where the oceans are oppressed, the skies are oppressed, the air, the animals are oppressed, right? And all of the sentient beings, 8,400,000,000 or 8 something like that million entities on the planet are being oppressed, even down to the mineral kingdom. The mineral kingdom is even being oppressed. We heard Dr. Sabi many a time, and my brother here, speak about inorganic plants and all of these genetically modified foods. Every facet of nature is being oppressed. And when you have this kind of consciousness going on, the body of the universe has to digest itself. It has to cleanse itself. The same like when a woman has her menstruation, she has to cleanse whatever toxins are in her body. And so this is what Kali is concerned with. The cleansing of this degenerate behavior that is going on planet Earth. Now, this is a rare photo of Kali. Before she was known as Kali, she was called Ma. You probably will never see this photo anywhere amongst the Hindus because these photos are they hide them. Okay? And as you can see, you see her African features, but even what's important also when you're looking at these deities is not just looking at the features, you got to look at the geometrical, the angles in which they are. Like if you look here, and then you see her arms, I want you to think about the Masonic symbol. You have the compass, and you have the square. You see? And inside of the compass and square, where they have the G, is the symbol of what is called the yoni. And the yoni is just a word that means the womb. Okay? Okay. In spite of her seemingly terrible form, Kali Ma is often considered the kindest and most loving of all Hindu goddesses, and she is regarded by her devotees as the mother of the whole universe. And because of her terrible form, she is also often seen as a great protector. You see? When the Bengali saint Ramakrishna once asked a devotee, why would one prefer to worship Mother over him? This devotee rhetorically replied, Maharaja, when they are in trouble, your devotees come running to you. But where do you run when you're in trouble? Ramakrishna, according to Ramakrishna, darkness is the ultimate mother. Now pay attention to that. That's very essential right there. Darkness is the ultimate mother, or Kali. Akana, I cannot pronounce his name. Sachi Da'ana. Indivisible reality, awareness, and bliss. The night sky between the stars is perfectly black. The waters of the ocean depths are the same. The infinite is always mysteriously dark. This embriating darkness is my beloved Kali. And that comes from Sri Ramakrishna. Okay? And that's very important because in all of our spiritual practices such as pranayama, meditation, tantra, this is what we're seeking to get in tune with. The darkness, the mother. This is the worship of the Great Mother. When you are in meditation, you are giving reverence to the Great Mother. When you close your eyes and pray and you're looking into that darkness, you are giving reverence to the Great Mother. You see? It's not a father because the father comes from the mother. This is why in popular religion, the male deity had to create from clay and mud and dust. Because he didn't have a womb. You see? Only a mother can produce you from the darkness of her womb. You see? So, right here, this picture here, this is Sekhmet. And I like this particular picture because it gives us an idea of what Sekhmet is. Because a lot of people think that our ancestors were idol worshippers or animal worshippers. And all of that is so far from the truth. What we did was we utilized symbols throughout nature to symbolize a greater truth. These are allegorical things. But in this particular picture, Sekhmet gives you the ideal of what Kali and Sekhmet is. One of the things in the universe that is everywhere and nowhere at the same time is space. Space is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And space has the ability to produce more space. In every inch and component and atom and element of space, it has the inability to create more space. So space is infinite, is darkness, and it is the mother. My brother. You see? So this is why I particularly chose this particular cartoon, because it kind of illustrates exactly what Sekhmet and Kali Ma is. Okay? Now, let's get a little deeper now. Imagine you toss an apple straight up into the air. Due to gravity, one would expect the apple to come right back down to earth. But what if it doesn't? What if, due to some unseen force, your apple continues going up at an accelerated rate? No matter how much gravity pleads and begs for the apple to come back down, could this really happen? Could there really be anti-gravity? On the scale of the universe, there is, say hello to dark energy. So, dark energy, again, let's go back a little bit, hold on. Right here, where the brother Ramakrishna says, my mother is the principle of consciousness. She is indivisible reality, awareness, and bliss. The night sky between the stars is perfectly black. You see? So, this is what we're talking about with dark energy. And when we're talking about the goddess, the great mother, that's all she is. Right? In a watered down version. Right? In the most basic sense, dark energy is akin to negative gravity. Where gravity is attractive, dark energy is repulsive. Dark energy causes the universe to expand at an increasing rate. For example, to a viewer on Earth, gravity would attract a distant galaxy towards Earth. But dark energy would cause the galaxy to move away from the Earth. Simultaneously, neither force can be directly seen. We detect gravity by observing the effect between two masses. We detect dark energy by measuring the expansion of the universe through the comparison of standard candles. Okay? So, dark energy is an energy that it's all pervading. It's all pervading. It pervades everything. And it repulses. It pulls away. You have dark energy and you have dark matter. Dark matter, which is another component of the Great Mother, is attractive. You see? One is pulling, one is pulling. I mean, one is going this way, one is going that way. But as they go this way, they create that balance in creation, right? But like I told a lot of people before, when they attack me on the woman is God, they say, well, what about duality? And I say to everyone, duality only exists within the reality of the Trinity. Our ancestors did not teach duality, they taught Trinity. In the Trinity creates the balance for duality. To give you a prime example, you have past, present, and future. Man, woman, child. You have up and down, right and left. You see? You can't have left or right without the and, because there has to be what is called a fulcrum point. So the and is the part that you can't see. It's invisible, what we call spirit or dark energy. You see? Like they say yin and yang. But yin and yang has no balance without zen. You see? So the ancestors taught a trinity and not a duality. Duality exists within your ability to go within self and get in contact with your spiritual self, your inner self. And as you balance those forces within yourself, then duality becomes the reality of your existence. Everybody okay with that? Okay, let's move on. Now, neter square, this here the arm and the square. There was some big discrepancy whether neter is a masculine principle. I said no. Neter is the symbol of the female. It is the Great Mother. Okay? But even more so, One brother showed, he showed a picture of this with a little man and a beard.